Welcome to the Dark Times channel. And so as you all probably know, or at least most of you probably know, two of the biggest entertainers slash rappers in the industry right now, Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez, were involved in an altercation that led to Megan Thee Stallion getting shot in the foot.
The only thing I'm stealing out here today is your face.
You gonna have to learn to respect me.
You gonna be the nine-toe having this limping this with me.
There it is. Shoot. Quick, go ahead. Take your best shot.
That's probably pretty close to how things played out, allegedly, in that limo. And so far from what I've heard, Megan Thee Stallion was upset with Tory Lanez for trying to get at Kylie Jenner. Kylie Jenner had a pool party a few years back and she invited Megan Thee Stallion. Megan Thee Stallion invited Tory Lanez. The two of them allegedly had well, it's not even allegedly anymore. I think Megan already admitted it in court. Her and Tory Lanez had a relationship, a physical relationship that was taking place during that time. And she invited Tory Lanez to the pool party. And so during the pool party, things got heated when he saw Tory Lanez trying to spit at Kylie Jenner. Megan, being under the influence, like I'm sure most of the people at the party were, started to get loud and belligerent with Tory, and things allegedly got out of hand. At least enough where Kylie Jenner's people asked Megan and Tory to leave the party. And so Tory Lanez is not a big guy by any means. I think Tory Lanez is around 5'3", 5'2". He weighs about $120. And Megan Thee Stallion, or her full name, Megan Javon Pete, is almost 6 feet tall and about 180 pounds. And she's listed at 140, but there's no way in hell Megan Thee Stallion weighs 140 pounds. She hasn't weighed 140 pounds since middle school, I bet. And that's not to body shame her. That's just based on her frame and her body. And so we're talking about almost a foot difference and at least about 60 to 80 pounds in their difference in weight. And so after they got kicked to that party, I'm sure things got turned up in that limo. And I'm sure we've all been there at one time or another, whether we were directly involved or we were in the middle of it somehow. When people start to drink and they get on that liquor, unfortunately, not everybody acts the same. And some people can't control their emotions. And I'm quite sure Megan Javon Pete, or Megan Thee Stallion, is one of those people. And so I think she was either about to beat the brakes off Tory, or she was in the middle of beating the brakes off him. And that wouldn't be Megan's first time. Megan's been locked up before for beating on her boyfriend. And she actually got called out for it on social media. I believe her ex-boyfriend spoke out about it and people were putting her mugshot up. And then she tried to lie about it.
I was at South by Southwest and my boyfriend at the time, I had just found out that this had a baby right then and there at the damn concert. What a way to find out your cheated on you and had a baby. Like, I was so mad that I had to just try to collect myself and walk away. So I'm trying to walk away and my boyfriend at the time was really not trying to see me go. It just so happened that when I was ready to give it to him, the motherfucking police pulled up when I'm punching. The police officer asked me, did he hit you? I look rough, my weave to the side, my shirt jacked up, my pants dirty because he been pushing me. I say, no, officer, he didn't hit me because I don't want him to go to jail. The laws asked that nigga, did I hit him? That nigga said, yeah, she hit me in the eye, oh, like he really gassing it. Like, this nigga said, yeah, she hit me in the eye. You got to know they sent me straight to jail. Them hoes cuffed me. I ain't never been cuffed in my life.
We all know when the cops show up, they don't take a female to jail for beating up on a man, let alone a black man, unless there's some kind of proof or you have witnesses. And so I'm sure there's probably plenty of eyewitnesses that corroborated her ex-boyfriend's story. And so Megan has a history of putting hands on dudes. And I'm sure he's not the first boyfriend that she put hands on. But he's probably the only one that had enough integrity to have her locked up over it. And so like I said, I'm sure that's not the first time. These are the kind of girls and women that hang around the crew. And these same kind of girls can never seem to keep a female friend. It's always the same story. Oh, I can't have no female friends. They too messy. Is it that they're too messy? Or are you sleeping and banging all their boyfriends and husbands? Which one is it? And so most likely, Tory Lanez and Megan were in a relationship And I'm quite sure, being the homie lover friend that she is, she let him know about what she was capable of. I'm sure they probably already slapboxed and everything. She probably accidentally hit him and he caught one. He was like, oh shit, if I ever have to defend myself, I might have to bring the strap out. And this is what I wanted to get to. And so the Comedy Hype channel chimed in on the ongoing case between Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion. And let me tell you something, this woman definitely has a bug in her ass when it comes to the black man. And it's probably because black men aren't choosing her, or at the very least, not the kind of black man that she wants. When I saw this interview, I had a flashback to an interview that the late, great, legendary comedian Patrice O'Neal did with her. And for some of y'all who don't know who Patrice O'Neal is, definitely check him out on YouTube. He's the kind of comedian and the kind of dude and the individual that I could not see existing in today's climate or in today's world. And Patrice O'Neal had the gift of being able to size up people real quick. And he called Yamanika out a long time ago.
And look at me. Yamanika.
Hey, I can't wait.
You got a boyfriend? I'm sitting there talking to her like, what, you got a boyfriend?
I was recently dumped.
You got really? Why?
Well, he didn't like the fact that I performed comedy, and I wasn't ladylike enough for him.
And what's ladylike mean?
I don't know. I guess sitting at home sucking his time. I don't know.
So you couldn't do that and do comedy?
I sucked his a lot, but apparently it wasn't enough.
It wasn't enough? Why you couldn't do it? What do you say? An extra 3 times before?
I don't know. I don't know.
You don't know, and you don't even care, do you? Did you care to find out?
I did care.
You know
I was in love with this guy.
You know
so
what's gonna happen? The next guy is gonna same thing is gonna happen. Same thing.
Oh, I hope not. There you
go. Use that word. Use that word again.
I hope.
There you go. You know why I'm winning? I don't hope for that. I have no hope. If me and you were together, you would, without a doubt, be that. Anything she's saying that you go, ooh, oh, how could she deal with that shit? You'll be dealing with it too. And let me explain this girl. She is definitely a big black. She's one of these mother.
I gotta be all
and
that.
she's a comic too. You know that's what she do.
Come on,
mother.
I am not like that.
You want to see the underneath my titties?
I am not like that.
I'm killing mother. That's that bitch there.
And so Yamanika is somebody, like Patrice O'Neal predicted, that has turned into that single bitter black woman. And it's sad to see, because Yamanika's not a bad looking woman. She's a little on the plus side or on the heavy side. And I'll say this, and it doesn't just pertain to the so-called black woman, but a lot of women, especially within Hollywood, they want to try to date like the men within Hollywood, because the male version of Yamanika could have her pick of the litter, so to speak. Women like Yamanika, they know that. And so subsequently, Yamanika has aligned herself with feminism and that whole movement, which is basically code for anti-heterosexual or anti-heterosexual black man. And so in almost every Comedy Hype show that I've seen, she's going to be calling out black men.
Community, but the black community, amongst men and women, there is a lack of protection, love, and consideration when it comes to black women, and especially in the midst of violent acts. And it's quite sad to see it unfold, and it's quite sad to see this play out for somebody who is, trying to be an example of women empowerment and, esteem for young girls and things of that nature, and someone who...
And so Yamanika, time after time, is going to be pushing her feminist views. And female entertainers like Megan Thee Stallion and some of these other female entertainers, a lot of their music coincides with the whole feminist movement. And it's going to be pushing all kinds of promiscuous and deviant behavior on young women. It's the same for a lot of these male rappers and entertainers as well. And so I don't think any woman, man, or child should be looking up to entertainers or rappers like Yamanika has suggested. She's not a role model for our young girls, especially not Megan. In almost every picture that I came across, Megan's got her tongue out or her ass out, or both. And this is the kind of artist that they're giving young black girls to aspire to. Meanwhile, the so-called white girls get in the Taylor Swifts of the world. And somebody like Taylor Swift, at least for today's standards, is going to have a level of dignity, a level of grace to her. She's a woman that parents will be okay with their sons dating or marrying. And Megan Thee Stallion is not the kind of girl that you want to bring home to any respectable household. I don't care how much money and I don't care how much fame she has. Any respectable and honorable household would not let her in the front door. The people are only as good as their model. In no other community do you see this. Who's the white version of Cardi B? Who's the Asian version of Megan Thee Stallion? Like I said, black people are almost the only people that have a model this degenerate. If you remember, they did it with Eminem for a while. Back when Eminem was first coming up, I can remember all the white boys dyeing their hair, wearing white beaters, and talking about popping this and popping that. That's just one artist, and think about how much influence he had when he was at the height of his career, or at the apex of his career. Think about all the degenerate models and archetypes that they lay out before our young girls and boys. And so Pierre, who's usually one of the most liberal people, on the show, and I like Pierre. I like him as an actor. I haven't seen too much of his stand-up, but he definitely plays his part on screen. And so even he can't take the BS from Yamaneika.
I will say this. I think the solution for this to be better has to come from black men, because every time I bring this information up to, I know a lot of dope brothers, a lot of cool brothers, and that other men respect and things like that. And when I explain to them that there's such a toxic culture over here that they really need to kind of tap into and see what they can do about it, they go, well, it's nobody I know. Right? And I'm like, well, it's over here and it's kind of loud. And if you guys could get in here, because those men that we're talking about that are a problem to the system, they're not listening to women. I could be saying the most profound thing. I could say the things that have the solution, the answers. These men are not going to listen to me no matter what. They are conditioned from the get-go to not like me, to not like my opinion, to not like the fact that I'm independent, that I think for myself. This is why you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's like it really will take a black man and black men to come in and change this. That's why you have such a large group of independent black women who are getting their education, being entrepreneurs, buying their own homes, taking care of themselves. There's no protection.
That makes 100%. That makes sense. But what I will say, I agree, she got shot. But I think the way that she went about it by protecting Mr. Lanez, I think it was the wrong way to go about it.
And this is why I tell black women not to do that anymore. When I tell black women not to protect black men like that, I also get attacked from black men saying that I hate black men. I think what you guys are missing, and this is no disrespect to you guys, but as a black woman, it gets very frustrating, is that I keep telling you the reason why black women show up in this way to not call the cops on you guys is because we don't want you. Then the response is, oh, well, you don't mind getting your ass beat? What I'm telling you is black women are not even thinking about that. Black women have been so, sure, we should, but that's not the conversation that is had with black women. Even as you see this with
Well, talk with your black girlfriends and tell them that. Tell your black girlfriends to do that. You need to tell your black girlfriends to do that. I'm not going to let you overtalk it. We're not going to overtalk it. You need to tell your girlfriends to stop protecting black men when they shoot and beat you. That's what you do. If you don't do that, it's no good. I can talk all day long over you. I don't have a problem with that. You got to start telling your girlfriends.
Talking to you. I'm not talking over you. You're talking over me. That's number one. That's number one. And this is exactly why the black community is where it is.
You need to tell your girlfriend.
As soon as we have conversations like this, black men get upset.
You need to tell your girlfriend.
But that's why you're getting upset about it. Because it's the same way as when I said that, Pierre. Now
I'm not going to let you finish. You're not going to finish over me. You're not going to finish over me. And that's fine. You're not going to finish over me. I'm going to overtalk you. Stop getting your ass.
We're going to get the final. Y'all get a chance. We're going to give you a chance to do final.
There's no space for black women to be safe.
There's no black man telling black women not to report crimes against black women. That doesn't even make sense. And the dusty dudes that she allegedly gets attacked by in the comment section don't count. And so yeah, even Pierre couldn't deal with Yamaneika. This is the kind of woman not just black men, but men in general should avoid at all costs. The only kind of man that would deal with a woman like this is this dude right here, actually. I don't know who this dude is. I guess they tried to put him on here to chill out the situation. But in any event, I'm glad they put him on here. And this is the kind of dude that looks like he's getting high all day, laying up under his girl playing video games. and reading a book here and there. Listen to this dude and pay attention to Yamanika's body language and how she responds to him.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
To say that I agree with you. I actually feel like us as black men, in partnerships, if I'm speaking from a heterosexual point of view, I feel like us as black men, we have so much pride, so much ego, that's what we are always dealing out of. Like, your partner as a woman, a black woman, could check you as a man and you automatically have this guard, or you feel like she's trying to emasculate you, when honestly she's actually trying to uplift you. She's trying to actually correct some of your, incorrect behaviors or incorrect verbiage. So I do agree that, I do wake up and my girlfriend, she watches the YouTube crime stuff, and we always see that some dude done killed his baby mama because she decided to like somebody else's Instagram post, or just something out of the woodworks. I actually do feel that, and honestly, you talking to a person who, I don't believe in religion. I'm very spiritual, and I always tell the gentleman around me, Symphony around me, I always tell, and even Leah behind me, I would tell people, like, I believe God is a woman, because if I look at every man in here, nobody can create life. That's a woman's thing. Like, she can bear life and she can take it away. So I do believe that America was built and the world was built on a woman's back, so to speak. When we actually look to see who we are as real people and where we come from.
Well, I appreciate that, young brother, and I mean, that really makes me feel a lot better. So I thank you for taking the time to add that to the conversation, and it's truly respected.
No problem.
But if you just look at her body language and her energy, you can tell that that's not the kind of dude that she wants. And I'm not talking about physically. I'm talking about the nature of that dude. It looked like she had to hold back from throwing up in her mouth. And that's not the kind of dude that a Yamanika is checking for. They want a masculine man that they're going to be able to dominate or be so-called 50-50 with. And that 50-50 is just an illusion. No two things in the universe are equal. You can't have two people leading. If you have two, you have none. There can be only one. Highlander. Like I said, it's all in the movies. A truly masculine and righteous man will lead his woman and will lead his family without them even knowing. That's what it means to lead. Leading doesn't mean dominating. A shepherd leads his flock. He doesn't beat his flock down the pastures. So there's a lot of men that need to get that straight as well. And so yeah, this is definitely one of those interviews when I heard it that I definitely wanted to chime in on. Especially when they start pushing this gender divide between the so-called black man and woman. And so I think that's going to be a good spot to end it. Make sure you hit that like button before you leave, and be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And as usual, peace and chaos.